All right, check this out. Now, let's get to the good stuff here. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of what we're talking about tonight. Now, this is absolute insanity, all right? This is one of those things like we are more and more living in a Black Mirror episode, and let me explain why. Let's go to this article. This is from alienUFOsightings.com. Okay, don't let the domain fool you. This is legitimate information, if you know what I'm saying. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to read this. Yeah, this is the headline here is Scientists Use Brain Imaging to Reveal the Movies in Our Mind. Yeah, this is fine, right? This should be fine. Just reveal the movies in our mind. This is fine. All right, let's read this. In Berkeley, of all places. You got to know it came from Berkeley. Here we go. Imagine tapping into the mind of a coma patient or watching one's own dream on YouTube. With a cutting-edge blend of brain imaging and computer simulation, scientists at the University of California, Berkeley are bringing these futuristic scenarios within reach. Using functional magnetic resonance imaging, or fMRI. We've all heard of MRIs, magnetic resonance imaging, but this is functional MRI. And computational models, UC Berkeley researchers have succeeded in decoding and reconstructing people's dynamic visual experiences. In this case, watching Hollywood movie trailers. All right, did you catch that? You see what this is all about? All right, look, this is wild. This is one of those ones that's disturbing, very, very much so. I'm going to read a little bit of this, and I'll play some clips, and we got some other stuff to get to tonight, of course. As yet, the technology can only reconstruct movie clips people have already viewed. However, the breakthrough paves the way for reproducing the movies inside our heads that no one else sees, such as dreams and memories, according to researchers. Quote, "This is a major leap toward reconstructing internal imagery," said Professor Jack Gallant, a UC Berkeley neuroscientist and co-author of the study published online in the journal Current Biology. He can continue, quote here, "We are opening a window into the movies in our minds," end quote. Eventually, practical applications of the technology could include a better understanding of what goes on in the minds of people who cannot communicate verbally, such as stroke victims, coma patients, and people with neurodegenerative diseases. The approximate reconstruction of a movie clip is achieved through brain imaging and computer simulation. All right, now look. I'm pretty sure this has been not just the actual, let's say, basis for one Black Mirror episode, but for many. All right, many. Okay, you see what's happening here. They're saying they can wire your brain. You can watch, let's say, a movie trailer, and in real time, very soon anyway. So what they're doing is they're going to show you something and then have your brain sort of remember it, and then they're going to play it back. All right? But in real time, now think where this heads. In real time, they're going to be able to do this, okay? Even if it's from memories or dreams currently, this is becoming a reality. And if you want some examples, by the way, if you guys are watching on the streams, here's some examples of images that they were given to people and what the AI had actually come up with based on the actual just the firing of the neurons in the brain, right? So through machine learning, they're able to decode what we're actually seeing in our mind's eye, all right? If we have a particular memory, well, soon they're going to be able to replay this new memory or old memory, well, in full HD. In full HD. Okay, and here, like I said, this is pretty wild when you start to think of the consequences, right? Where does this lead us, right? That's the question. This becomes one of those spooky things that, are we, well, I don't know. Like, does it redefine what humanity is? So in the old days, right? Right now in this moment, this is now the old days compared to this, right? But in the old days, we used to speak to each other, right? We used to not have any kind of telepathy or anything of this degree. We used to not be able to tap into other people's memories or thoughts in real time, let alone, let's say, delve into their memory banks and maybe experience a memory from a decade ago with them, right? But this technology seems like it's going to be the path to exactly that. And like they said in the article here, okay, well, for instance, we may be able to download our dreams and then upload said dream to YouTube. And we've talked about this in the past as some ridiculous, wild pipe dream of a thing, okay? Ridiculous. It's like, maybe is this coming? I mean, Elon Musk suggested it with his Neuralink that this is on the way. But is it, right? Well, they've actually got this working. So I got some questions for you guys tonight, per usual, right? As part of the Troubled Minds deal, I got some questions. So if this is as they say, and if you look at, again, all the articles, all my links and articles are already in the description down below. You guys can check this stuff out. And I encourage you to go read this and follow up on the things that I'm doing, the things I'm saying, because I'm not just making stuff up. I don't do that, right? Like, we speculate heavily, but I'm just not making stuff up. There's a basis in a lot of this, at least mythology-wise, at least folklore-wise, at least propaganda-wise. You never know, right? And in this case, scientifically speaking, all right? So if this is the case, and we can actually tap into people's brains, their memory, let's say, even in real time. So meaning if I'm watching a trailer for The Sandman, speaking of The Sandman, I think The Sandman comes out on Netflix tomorrow. Absolutely tomorrow. So maybe it's, again, a little synchronicity that we're talking about downloading your dreams and then uploading them to YouTube, because The Sandman debuts on Netflix tomorrow. And I know this because they sent me a nice little beep. Hey, Mike, you might like Sandman. Oh, yeah, cool. I might. But okay, so the thing is this. The question I have is, if this technology becomes, let's say, rolls out widespread to the general population, right? Population of the world. This technology of being able to, in real time, image your thoughts, dynamically image your thoughts and memories and dreams. Will this change what it means to be a human being? All right, that's my first question. Will this actually change what it means? Because in the old days, right, you would have your thoughts to yourself. It's a saying, it's a term, right? I think, therefore I am. Except, right, what happens when the things you think could be put directly on a computer monitor, or even, I don't know, displayed on a giant screen in Times Square or something, right? Right there for everybody to see, your thoughts. And of course, right, your thoughts, if you're anything like me, my thoughts go in like 100 different directions all the damn time. I can't even imagine what this thing would make of my brain, because my brain is kind of a mess. An awful lot it is. And so, well, what does this mean? All right, so that's the first question. Does it redefine what being a human actually is? That's my first question. My second question is, how does this technology actually affect, let's say, things like everyday arguments, right? Like, we're going to be able to go back and be like, no, you said it was blue. No, you said it was red. No, come on, man. Don't you remember when we did that thing back in the thing and we were eating ice cream and you said, no, this is what went down. And no, I didn't say that. Well, let's just rewind to the memory and play it up on a screen or play it on our smartphone for everybody to see, right? I mean, we're going to be able to settle petty arguments, right? Because, well, hey, poofling it. That's what people do, all right? But what are the greater implications when we're talking about, let's say, court cases? Let's say moving through like an airport terminal, and instead of them, maybe fingerprinting you or putting you in the thing and scanning you and checking your nether bits on the screen, right? Instead of doing that, they just kind of plug into your device and they rewind your last 72 hours to see if you've been up to anything nefarious. All right? Like, is this going to change everything? Literally everything. And what are the implications here? All right? Again, I'm more fascinated with court cases and how this is going to affect that. And not just that, how about this? This is the interesting part, and where when I first saw this, I was like, okay, wait. So we've always been told as human beings that our memories are fallible. All right? Fallible. Meaning that they say, the most obvious, let's say, evidence in court is direct evidence. Direct evidence from, let's say, an individual saying, yes, I was there and I saw this happen. All right? That's as direct as you get. Okay? But what if that individual in court says, I was there and I saw it go down, and then they plug in to this individual's memory and play it back, and it's not quite like they remember it. Or let's say that they misremembered it, but now that it's fingerprinted onto the screen for everybody to see, even if they remembered it incorrectly, it now becomes the judge and the juror, because we're tapping into memories directly, right? You see what the implications here are. It becomes terrifying. And so, well, not just downloading and uploading dreams. What about court cases? What are some other implications regarding this particular technology?